Ever wondered how much corruption costs us, not just in money but in other aspects of life? We often throw around the term corruption like it's a hot potato, but do we really understand the weight of its cost? Let's start with the monetary aspect. Picture this. Corruption costs the global economy more than the net worth of the world's richest man. That's right, folks. It's like someone took Jeff Bezos's fortune, multiplied it by a considerable amount, and then just threw it in a bottomless pit. Imagine how many super yachts, private islands, or more realistically, social programs and infrastructural development projects that money could fund. But wait, there's more. The cost of corruption isn't just counted in dollars and cents. It's also measured in the erosion of trust in our institutions, in the widening of social inequities, and in the slowing down of overall development. Picture a race where everyone should have an equal chance at winning, but then someone decides to put hurdles in front of specific runners because they didn't pay a bribe. Unfair, right? That's corruption for you, folks. A sneaky hurdle-planting troublemaker. And let's not forget about the impact on society. Corruption, in essence, is like that one person who cuts in line at the coffee shop. It's annoying, it's unfair, and it makes you question the integrity of the queue system. Now, imagine if that one person was a regular, and they always got served first because they slipped a $5 to the barista. That's corruption on a societal scale. It fosters an environment where rules are disregarded, and the idea of fairness becomes as mythical as a unicorn. So to wrap things up, corruption is a costly business. It's like a leaky bucket. The more corruption we have, the more resources, trust, and opportunities we lose. It's a cycle that only perpetuates inequality and hinders development. That's a lot of money and opportunities slipping through our fingers due to corruption, isn't it? Now that we know the cost, what's being done about it? Enter Anti-Corruption Day. It's a day dedicated to raising awareness about corruption and celebrating the efforts to combat it. It's like a birthday party for honesty and transparency, only without the cake. Originated by the United Nations, Anti-Corruption Day is celebrated worldwide on the 9th of December. The day recognizes that corruption is a significant obstacle to economic and social development around the globe. It's a day to highlight the crucial role of communities in tackling this global issue. Think of it as the annual checkup for the health of our society, a day to take stock of where we stand in our fight against corruption. It's a day to celebrate victories, learn from failures, and recommit to making the world a fairer place. So, Anti-Corruption Day is our chance to say no to those who think they can play by their own rules. But does Anti-Corruption Day actually make a difference? You might be wondering. Well, let's dive right in. Picture this, a global game of whack-a-mole, but instead of furry little moles popping up, we've got corruption rearing its ugly head. And every year, on Anti-Corruption Day, we're handed a mallet and given a chance to whack away. Sounds fun, right? But let's get serious, because the impact of this day is far from a game. Around the world, Anti-Corruption Day sparks conversations, ignites actions, and fuels victories against corruption. It's a day where we all come together to raise awareness and call out the corruption that's been hiding in the shadows. In the past, this day has led to some major wins. For instance, in the island nation of Madagascar, Anti-Corruption Day fueled a nationwide movement that resulted in new anti-corruption laws. A big win for the lemurs, wouldn't you say? Over in Eastern Europe, Anti-Corruption Day served as a catalyst for a massive public protest in Ukraine. Thousands of individuals flooded the streets, demanding accountability from their leaders. The result? A complete overhaul of the country's corrupt political system. And let's not forget Asia. In South Korea, Anti-Corruption Day brought light to a notorious corruption scandal involving a top-tier business tycoon and the country's president. The day helped to rally public sentiment and led to the impeachment and conviction of the president. But the victories aren't just on a national scale. Anti-Corruption Day also shines a spotlight on local issues, fostering grassroots movements that fight corruption at its roots. It's a day that empowers every one of us to stand up, speak out, and make a difference. So to answer the question, yes, Anti-Corruption Day does make a difference. It's not just about whacking corruption on one day, but about sparking a flame that continues to burn throughout the year. It gives us the tools to keep fighting, to keep pushing back against corruption. So while the fight is ongoing, Anti-Corruption Day helps us land some solid punches. But it's not all up to governments and organizations. You have a part to play too. Now you might be sitting there thinking, me? Fight corruption? How can I possibly make a difference? Well, my friend, you're not just a spectator in this fight. You're in the ring too. And it's time to put on your gloves. First and foremost, let's make one thing clear. Corruption thrives in the shadows. So what better way to combat it than by bringing it into the light? By staying informed about the issues in your community, you're already making a difference. Knowledge, after all, is power. And in this case, it's the power to see through the fog of corruption. Next, let's talk about the power of your voice. No, I don't mean your singing voice, although a good corruption-busting ballad could be quite catchy. I'm talking about your ability to speak up when you see something that's not quite right. Whether it's a dodgy deal at work or a shady situation in your local community, your voice can be a powerful tool in the fight against corruption. However, remember to always prioritize your safety. Reporting corruption can be risky, so make sure you're doing it through the right channels. Many places have anonymous hotlines or online platforms where you can report corrupt behavior without putting yourself in harm's way. And finally, remember that your actions speak louder than words. By living a life of integrity and honesty, you're setting an example for those around you. You're showing them that it's possible to succeed without resorting to corrupt practices. So, don't underestimate your role in this fight. Every report, every conversation, every act of integrity, it all adds up. And together, we can create a ripple effect that can turn into a wave of change. Remember, every act against corruption, no matter how small, is a step towards a fairer world. So this Anti-Corruption Day, take a stand, let your voice be heard, because together we can knock out corruption for good.